the H5N1 bird flu. It is commonly known as just the bird flu, though more specifically known as the H5N1 strain of the avian influenza A. It was first documented in 1996 in farm birds in Guangdong, China. Then later in 1997, it was found in Hong Kong, China in humans, though it is not specifically known who first contracted the virus. The virus mainly stayed in the confines of China with 20 cases, then continued to spread in all directions to countries like Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, Japan, Korean Peninsula, and Vietnam. It was soon able to scarcely spread to parts of Europe and most recently North America, though these continents were able to handle the virus for the most part. It is still most commonly found in Asia. The virus is still impacting organisms today, though there are only very few cases of infected birds and poultry that still come up. Currently, there is no known cases in America, though worldwide there have been 3 known cases in Indonesia so far in 2017. The virus affects tissues and organs such as the lungs, but also can affect the trachea, intestines, brain, and even the placental barrier in the case of pregnant patients. If cells in the immune system are affected while transporting to other organisms, this could cause extrapulmonary dissemination. Since the first person was infected, H5N1 has killed 60% of those infected. According to Omni, it can be considered the second deadliest disease following Ebola. In order to get into an organism, the virus can enter the body through any opening such as the mouth and ears, as well as cuts in the skin and pores. It is spread between organisms through contact with saliva, nasal secretions, and feces of an infected animal. Humans can get it through close contact with an infected animal, though it is hard for the virus to spread from a bird to a human. It is actually uncommon as well for the virus to spread among people. The best way to prevent contraction is avoiding direct contact with infected animals and anything which it produces or comes in contact with. Farmers in third world countries are most likely to contract the virus due to inability of access of treatments and the unawareness of the virus. In order to enter a cell, the virus is able to attach itself to the outside of the cell and inject their own RNA into the cell, soon allowing them to take it over. The virus then enters and replicates within lung cells called type 2 pneumocytes. Specifically, the virus infects isolated pulmonary epithelial cells and the said specifically pneumocytes in the lungs. Through replication and taking control of other cells, the virus is able to spread through the rest of the body. The virus has an incubation period averaging around 2 to 5 days and ranging up to 17 days. In terms of how long it takes for the virus to spread through the body, it is very skewed, though it highly depends on how much of the virus is first started with, and it tends to be affected the most by temperature and moisture. Antiviral drugs to treat and prevent transmission of the virus to a human are available, though the U.S. government owned the vaccine to use if similar viruses are commonly being spread, such as other strains of the avian influenza. But what is a vaccine and how is it created? A vaccine is a substance used to stimulate the production of antibodies and provide immunity against one or several diseases. Prepared from the causative agent of a disease, its products, or a synthetic substitution treated to act as an antigen without inducing the disease. Viruses are created through first identifying an antigen, then isolating the antigen, and finally making the vaccines by adding stabilizers and preservatives. In order to prevent contracting the virus, just be sure to stay out of complete contact with any suspected organism which has the virus and anything that the organism comes in contact with. H5N1 is still active, and a total number of confirmed cases is 859 as of now. H5N1 is only a specific strain of the avian influenza A. An interesting fact is that the majority of the highly populated areas with H5N1 are mostly third and second world countries, most likely due to the fact that knowledge and treatment are scarce. In one case, there was an outbreak of H5N1 in a zoo in the Thailand Zoo due to close animal quarters, which allowed the virus to spread quickly.